Hey everybody, it's me Margaret and welcome to my nest. This little corner of this couch downstairs in my basement is what I call my nest. I have everything I need all around me, and right now all I really need is my stuff for the volunteer work that I do at Thomas's school. It's homecoming time, and let me tell you, October is non-stop. And I'm really kind of tired of working on it for a minute, and I thought, you know what? I think I better shoot a video because I don't know when else I'm going to get time to share this information with you. So that's what I'm doing right now. So here from my nest, here's a video. Now, do you remember when I did that Hobium yarns review? I got a whole bunch of different Hobium yarns that they sent to me, and one of the things, the only thing that I actually asked for from them was this just wool. Now what it is 100% wool, 100% recycled wool. And at the time I hadn't used it. However, I got this comment on that video from Major Mama, and she says that she had recently ordered a lot of Hobium yarn, including several bags of the just wool in various colors. Now she knitted up some swatches on her knitting machine, and she washed it, hand washed it, blocked it, followed by a light steam iron press, and she said, I got a beautiful swatch. The swatch has a soft cottony feel, but unlike cotton, the fabric has excellent memory. Now if you're not familiar with memory, that is when, give me something, when you can stretch it out and let go and it goes back into its original shape. That's memory. Cotton, you stretch, it kind of just stays there when you let go, right? But she says she's looking forward to making some sweaters from this wool, and I could see where it would be wonderful. And I'm going to have to concur with her review because I've used it now. I'm so excited about this project, I just don't even know how to tell you. Working on the tutorial for these, so be patient. Do you know my Knit Baby Scrap Hats, where I kind of gave a recipe on how to make these baby hats and using your scraps to do all this little trim? Well, people are always saying, do you have a crochet version? Well, I didn't until now. Now, I used 2 balls of this. They're 50-gram balls, and I used the blue and the gray to work up. I had to figure out how to copy the design, in other words, once I figured out how to do this stitch. And then I will do the actual tutorial in these. Okay, so that's coming soon. But I'm so happy to report how well these turned out. It looks like that knitted version, doesn't it? I'm so excited. Now I'm going to concur 100% with Major Mama's evaluation of saying it has a cottony feel. I haven't washed or blocked these yet, and I'm really looking forward to doing that because I'm very pleased with how it feels just worked up, just like this. I liked working with it. I don't find it to be scratchy. Now it is not as soft as something like maybe those really nice knit crate yarns that we're getting made with the merino wool mixed with cashmere, yada yada yada. This is 100% good old wool, and I don't find it to be scratchy. It might be a little maybe rougher than what we could compare if we're comparing it to, say, that knit crate wool. But well, you know how it is when you hand wash, and you can put it fabric softener or hair conditioner, because what is wool but natural fiber? It is hair. Sorry, we have a tiny kitten wrestling with the big kitten, and she's like, don't do that. So anyway, back to what I'm saying. You know how I've always preached that soaking in hair conditioner, while it sounds like it's a good thing on acrylic yarn, that doesn't work. The science doesn't back that up, because acrylic is a form of plastic. Generally speaking, unless the hair conditioner is tough enough to break down plastic, it's not going to make the difference. It's not going to make a difference in the softness. You really need the agitation for acrylic, the heat and agitation to break down the acrylic fibers, and that's why I always suggest just washing and drying acrylic. But with wool, we can soak it in hair conditioner, and I'm sorry, the kitten just wants to wrestle, and my grown-up cat does not like that game. She only likes chase. So anyhow, soaking in hair conditioner or a fabric softener makes a considerable difference in a natural fiber. So I'm anxious to give that a go. Now, about Hobium yarns and whether or not you have to pay duties or tax, a tariff of some sort on it, I didn't have to, and yet I'm hearing that somebody did. Debbie, a friend from Canada, said she did. So now duties and tariffs are usually done by country. So I did a little survey and I said to U.S. customers of Hobium yarns, did you have to pay a duty or tariff on your order? I didn't, and I'm just trying to gather some helpful consumer info. Now, at the time of this recording, the results were that 89% of the respondents did not have to pay a duty or a tariff, and yet 11% said that they did. Now, this is very confusing to me because, like I said, usually duties and tariffs are by country to country and vice versa. So it doesn't, I don't get it. So I'm a little bit confused. I don't know if maybe the residents that responded that they did have to pay a tariff, maybe they're confused about what exactly a duty or tariff is, or whatever. But generally it comes from the carrier. So you would pay for your stuff, you know, online as usual, and then maybe you'll get a charge from the carrier, which is often separate. But I don't know how to answer that. So you may want to contact customer service if this is something that is confusing or whatever. Hobium customer service, those people were fantastic, and I'm sure that they can help you if you want to double check before you place that order. Okay, listen to this. This is brilliant. You're going to love it. This comes from Georgina Black, and she said, I have a tip. When making a hat, I crochet a loop on the inside just under the top. This means that the wearer can hang it on a hook when not wearing it. I chain about 15 or so to make the loop. I do not even know what to say to that. I completely forgot to do it on these little hats. But you know what? I'm going to figure out how to do that when I do the tutorial, because that is genius. Think about it. You go in and you got to hang up your coat, you hang up your scarf. Sometimes your mittens have that thing, you know, that you put through the whole, what do you call that, through the sleeves and all, and it could just stay in the coat, and you can just hang it up and the mittens dangle from the coat. Okay, but what do you do with the hat? Now, yeah, you can, you know, what I would do is fold it up and stuff it into a pocket, but what if it's wet? What if it needs to dry out because, you know, it got snow all over it? That's wishful thinking on my part. How often does it snow here? Rain all over it, okay? So you want to hang it up while you're going about your business, you know, let it dry. I love this. I chain about 15 or so to make the loop. Genius, Georgina. Genius, Georgina. I want you to see the cute little gift I got the other day. It is adorable. Apparently, this was seen on Oprah's favorite things or whatever. They're chocolates. Isn't that so cute? This is the company. I haven't looked them up or whatever, but I thought that was adorable, especially because I'm quite partial to that name, since somebody I love very much is called that. But anyway, Maggie Louise is the company. I don't know what else they have, and I'm very anxious to go check it out. So what have I been working on? Well, besides figuring out these crochet versions of the little baby scrap hats, well, this is another one that I did that was a baby scrap hat. This is with Jamie yarn. It's by Lion brand. It's a number 3, 100% acrylic, 2 different colors, and actually right here. And I did like working with this, but of course, when you have the natural fiber, I went luckily from this to this, and it was such a treat. But I'm back to working in acrylic right now. But here's another little thing I did. Recently I did a a hat similar to this, a tutorial, where it has the camel stitch brim on it. But this right here is the seed stitch, which is basically doing a double crochet followed by a single crochet all the way around. And it just gives you a different texture, you know, and I like that. But you know what this looks like to me? This looks really, really busy. And then this is so orderly and nice and neat. I just think it's a good juxtaposition to put those two together. But I really do like it. But I do like this stitch. It's a little thicker, a little, kind of adds some bulk and texture to this seed stitch. But the increases are a little tricky on it, but it works okay. Maybe that should be another tutorial. I want to give a special shout out to a channel called Dotto Tech. It's Steve Dotto, and he does really good educational videos for mixed levels of tech people. And a lot of them are beginner videos. You can kind of feel that out. But something he did recently was fantastic. If you have an iPhone and you may be asking yourself, should I upgrade to the new operating system, iOS 12? He did a really good, well, he calls it update, discover what's inside. And he tells you not the fluff, as he calls it, but some of the really practical things. For example, I got a text. I don't know if you can tell, but you have an option now to make everything bigger. Now, before we could always make the text bigger, you know, the actual letters on emails and texts and stuff like that. But now we can actually make everything, even the keys are bigger when you text it. That's wonderful. It shows you a lot of other things. I'm going to put a link to this particular video for you to look and see so you can kind of decide or learn about some of the new features that Apple has incorporated into this new update. And also, if you need a person that can kind of guide you through some of the really neat things, like all the free programs that Google provides, for example, Google Docs and Sheets and all that kind of stuff, then he's your man. I mean, he used to have a TV show once upon a time long ago, and he taught a lot of text things through there, and now he's transferring this over to YouTube, and I think he has a wonderful channel, so I will throw that out. A word about tutorials. I am not left-handed, but I don't want to forget my lefty friends, so it may take me a day or two to get the left-handed tutorials up. Why? Because since I'm not left-handed, I have to flip the clips one by one. So for each clip that I need to flip, I make sure, let's look at this one, I make sure that it's all crochet and it doesn't have any of the pattern reading on there. And then I go to Designer, PIP Designer, wait for it to load. Flip, not upside down, but left to right. Okay. And these all have to be done individually. You can't select them multiple clips and then do it, because it will just disappear. This part right here disappears and it's just not an option. So they all have to be done individually. So, well, we don't want to do this one. So clearly, when you see that I am reading or whatever, I like to leave that facing the right way, but when I'm actually working, I like to flip it. Thought you might like a little behind the scenes action there. I have not had a whole lot of time for social media lately, and I cannot tell you where I came across this. But it's somebody I don't even follow on Instagram, and somehow or another I have these pictures. Sarah D. Crochet is who it is, and she did the most precious little blanket. She calls it the Happy Little Tree. And it is so cute. She's got the tree, flowers, clouds, and a tiny bunny, and it was absolutely adorable. So I am assuming that somewhere in the hashtags she's got down here, Cypress Textiles or something, I don't know. Look up Sarah D. Crochet and see if you've got any kind of links in her description and her profile that could take you, because that is so cute. Absolutely adorable. Now I'm looking at the calendar. Today is the 4th. I don't know when I'm going to have this edited and up. So remember, I believe it was the 8th, October 8th, I don't know, but the deadline for Sister Margaret Mary's donations is fast approaching. So check that out, get your stuff together, send that off to her, and she will be most appreciative. And then you can focus on some of your own things after that. Okay, time for this break. Here's a shout out to Sherlyn Bennett, who made reference to something going on at her Nan and Mom's office. I helped them in some way. She doesn't say exactly what it was. Maybe I answered a question, I don't know. But there's a shout out to Sherlyn, and thank you for your sweet compliment. And hey to all your friends at Nan and Mom's office. So thanks for hanging out with me, and remember, be kind to everybody, even if you disagree on stuff. We'll talk soon. Bye.